Hey everyone, this is Martin from howtomakemobilegames.com on January the 10th today, 2016, here in Shanghai, China. And this is a my thoughts on the new Star Wars video movie. My thoughts on the new Star Wars movie video. So this is a personal video, nothing to do with game development, iOS or Android development. More of those coming soon on the channel and the Pro channel. This is so if you're not interested in listening to a Star Wars thoughts review, then check out the next video, which will be on game development. But yeah, so I just saw the movie like literally just an hour ago, and it was in my head. And I always enjoy doing movie critique. It's one of my just watching movies is one of my hobbies. It's one of my favorite pastimes, and I was talking a lot about it. I saw it with my wife as well, and she really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it as well. I thought it was a good movie. I've not scripted this, by the way. This is just my thoughts as the sort of trailing out of my head. But she really enjoyed it. I knew that she would, and I also enjoyed it as well. I thought it was a good movie. It cost us how much we in here in Shanghai? It cost us around £12 each. Yeah, one ticket each was £12, roughly about $15 or $16. So. So I was excited to see it, and I think the hype around it was really big. So obviously I was excited to see it, and I wanted to see it, and it just came out here yesterday as well. Was it as good as the other reviews that I'd seen had made it out to be, and was it as good as the trailer and the marketing and all that? No, I don't think it was. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was. I thought some of the script was interesting and funny, but I wasn't like blown away by it at all. To be honest, it wasn't as good as I'd hoped it would have been, and that always happens with me with movies nowadays. Maybe because I'm older, I'm less blown away by movies. I remember when I was a kid that I was always more. The movies had a much bigger impact on me. For example, when I saw Jurassic Park the first time in 1993, I couldn't get it out of my head for like weeks. It was just the most amazing thing I'd ever seen, in terms of movies up until that point. But yeah, Star Wars. I thought it was interesting. I thought the characters were good. The new characters were good as well. The acting was very good for the most part. The story was kind of obvious. By the way, spoilers. I'm sorry. There's going to be spoilers in this. Don't watch this if you don't want me to spoil the movie. It is going to be spoiled. I should have said that at the beginning. I'm not giving anything away yet, but there will be spoilers. I will be giving stuff away in this talk. So if you don't want it spoiled, just leave the video now. So the things, though, I'll just go straight onto the stuff that I didn't think was very good. I think the main thing that I thought wasn't very good in the movie was the motivations. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that. Motivations of the characters. I just didn't understand, and I think that took me out of the movie a little bit. For example, the stormtrooper guy. I forget his name. Finn. That's it. I didn't understand his motivation throughout the movie a lot of the time. I know that he wanted to help the girl. Maybe he was into the girl, so that's why he was trying to take care of her. But I really didn't get why he wanted to leave the First Order, the stormtrooper, the bad guys, so much. That motivation just didn't resonate with me. Boy, I'm sweating. It just seemed like he'd seen this one battle where it was kind of bad and one of his friends got killed, and he saw other people getting killed, and then he was out. But, I mean, he's a stormtrooper. He has been trained since birth, or whatever he said in the movie, to handle this kind of thing. And that's what the Empire and the First Order does. They're a bunch of arseholes who go around the galaxy like, the Gestapo, is it? Or the SS, the Nazi police, and just do whatever they want and take over villages and kill people and just rain terror over the area. So I didn't get it. Why he was so desperate to sort of like leave all of a sudden. So that motivation didn't really make sense. The just while it's in my head as well, that leader stormtrooper who was a woman, I believe, based on the voice, who had the silver chrome stormtrooper outfit. I don't know why she was there. It just didn't make any sense to me. Because I thought she was like going to be a major character, because I think she was on the posters, and I thought she was going to be like a major part of it, and she was just kind of in there for a few seconds and then out. And I don't know what the point of her being in it that much was really about. So it could have just been a random stormtrooper who had no sort of main feature in the trailers or posters or anything like that. So I don't know what she was about. The motivation of the girl in the movie, the main character, and I'm forgetting her name. Is it Rill or Kyle? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll just call her the girl. The girl in the movie, I didn't understand her motivation, which was another one as well. Why was she so desperate to help the little robot BB-8? It didn't make much sense to me. She, wanted to help the robot, and then, perhaps if the robot had saved her in some way, maybe that would have given her more motivation. But she was going to tell the robot where to go, and then the robot was like, "Oh, can I come with you?" She's like, "Okay, I'll help you. And I'll help you some more, and I'll continue to help you throughout the entire movie." And that motivation it didn't make much sense to me. I don't know why she was so desperate to help this robot, even when she was fairly desperate to stay on this on that the sand planet where she was from, because she was waiting for a family or something like that. So kind of her motivation. And her motivation to go to see Luke at the end also didn't really make much sense to me either. And this is just personal. This is just what sort of stood out for me. Who else was there? So obviously Harrison Ford is in it. So Han Solo. I guess his character seemed to make sense. Again, it wasn't like anything that kind of really stood out as being strange. But I think the only thing is, I wish like the father-son relationship between him and the Ben, I'll call him Ben because I remember the name Ben, his son Ben. I wish they'd put that as a more of a focal point of the movie, like those two characters. Because the pain between them just didn't make much sense, which leads me on to the Ben, the main bad guy in the movie. His motivations didn't make sense either. When they explained it in the beginning about, or somewhere in the movie, they explained about him. He had been seduced by the dark side. I don't know what his motivation was for, Ben is dead and now the only one left is me, the dark side, and and I want to kill everything. Why? I don't understand your pain. That's it. I don't know why you want to destroy these planets or kill your father, or I get that you've been manipulated by the dark side, but there should be some motivation, because even on the dark side there should be like some motivation to why. I'll give you an example, like with Star Wars, when I was watching the Return of the Jedi the other day, the part where at the end where the Emperor is trying to seduce Luke to the dark side, it didn't make any sense to me. I guess maybe because I'm a bit older now, and maybe I'm too critical with the movie, and I still enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this movie and I enjoy all the Star Wars movies, but I do like to critique as well, so that's why I'm saying these things. But the part where the Emperor is trying to seduce Luke, he's like, it didn't make any sense. So, like, why would Luke want to join the dark side? He'll show you the true power and then you'll join. No, I don't want to join. I can feel your anger, you'll join. No, I still don't want to join. Why? Well, I'm angry, so what? Why do I want to join you if you're angry? You'll turn to the dark side just like your father did. No, I don't want to join. What's my motivation for wanting to join the dark side? If the Emperor turned around and said, join the dark side or I'll kill all your friends. Okay, I'll join you. I get it, there's motivation. Yeah, or I offer you power, unlimited power, or money, or whatever it is that you're after, then I get the motivation. Even on the dark side, there should be some like motivation of why people are doing these things. Like, why did this First Order desperately hate the Old Republic, because the Old Republic was the Empire anyway, wasn't it? So yeah, anyway, the bad guy, going back to Ben, his motivation just didn't make sense to me, and maybe that'll be explained later, but I don't know why he hated, his father so much, to the point where he, had to kill him. Yeah, big spoiler, Han Solo dies or whatever. It just didn't make sense. So Han Solo, if he'd been searching for his son for years, that would have made more sense, motivational wise. Luke Skywalker in it, of course, comes at the end. Again, huge spoiler after I've just said it, but as I said at the beginning of the video, Luke Skywalker, motivation. Obviously, he wasn't in the movie until the very end, but it explains throughout a little bit why he went away. Something about Ben had turned bad and wanted the dark side, and he felt responsible, so he went into seclusion or reclusion, whatever the word is. He went away. But I didn't get that either. I didn't get it. Like, okay, Luke, so you feel responsible and you hid away. Well, why? Why not try and fix the problem? Why do you have to go away? What's the point? It looks like people are looking for you, and you can help the rebellion. And then, even though they're like the rebellion now, why are they still the rebellion? I thought they would be the Republic now, wouldn't they, or something like the Old Republic from Episode 1, 2, and 3. So Luke's, even though he wasn't in it, his motivation didn't make much sense at all either. I'm trying to think which other characters are in it. So yeah, the commander guy who was like Ben's colleague, his motivation, he hates the rebellion or whatever, but again, it wasn't very clear. Like, you want to absolutely destroy these planets, these 5 planets with billions of people on them. Why? Okay, I'll give you a counter example. Okay, Star Trek, the new one, the one by J.J. Abrams, not the newest one, the one from 2008. Nero wanted to destroy Vulcan. Why? Why did he want to commit genocide and wipe out that entire planet full of billions of people? Because his planet was destroyed. The motivation of Nero is extremely clear. I understand what happened there. And even though he's the protagonist in the movie, you get his motivation. And even at the end, you feel like a little bit sorrow for him as he's being pulled into the black hole, and he closes his eyes and he thinks of his dead wife or whatever it is. The motivation of the whole First Order just didn't make any sense to me. Perhaps if they were like kicked out of the Empire years ago and they were sent across the galaxy because now everybody hates the stormtroopers, and then 30 or 40 years later they come back, to get revenge or whatever, that would make more sense. Some of the things that also stood out for me, I thought a couple of the actors looked a little bit young as well. One of the ones was the commander who worked alongside Ben, the one that kind of didn't like each other, the main commander. He was a good actor. I thought he was pretty good. He just seemed a little bit young to be in that kind of position, whereas the original Peter O'Toole, who played the commander, he seemed much more like the right age to be commanding like this full army. Maybe he was older in real life, and maybe he is actually an older person, but he just seemed a little bit young. The comparisons to the first movie as well, as in episode, which one, 1, 2, 3, 4, A New Hope, was just too similar for me as well. There was just so many things which were just too similar. That kind of took me out of it as well. There's a droid that's got a map or a secret message, and you have to get it to their master. They're on like a Tatooine planet, a sand planet. They meet Luke in the episode 4, and in this one it's the girl that they meet. They meet Harrison Ford at the same time, and he agrees to help them for whatever and take them to the green base planet, which is where the rebellion lives. And then there's a Death Star, and the Death Star's going to charge up and destroy the planet. And the same thing happened in the first movie. It was like they had a countdown until the Death Star was going to shoot, and they had to destroy it before that happened. So, it's a new generation of viewers, so they're not going to be really comparing that much to the original. and I'm sure like a lot of like younger kids would love the movie completely. But as one of the viewers of like the older movies as well, I think it just, there was too many comparisons, too many things which are just the same. You know, it didn't make much sense to me. The soundtrack could have been a lot better, I thought, honestly. The soundtrack, usually my definition of a good soundtrack is one that sticks in my head after I've left the cinema and I can hum it to myself, and that usually happens a lot. A good example is, for example, X-Men, the Days of Future Past. I thought that was a great movie, really good movie. We saw that a couple of, maybe 2 years ago now, in the cinema, and that was one of my most memorable, best movies of this past few years. I thought it was amazing. You could feel the fear of the characters, when they're trying to take on these like indestructible Sentinels. You could feel the hopelessness towards it. You know, at the end, where they're almost about to, to die, but everything works out at the end. But the X-Men movie had a great theme to it that I remember. The Sentinel theme, it stuck in my head. Again, the example before, Star Trek, the new theme from Star Trek as well is something that always sticks in my head, and it was very clear. I'm comparing the two as well because they're both J.J. Abrams movies, the new Star Trek and this Star Wars. But this new Star Wars, the only themes that stuck in my head were the original themes. So the opening title theme, the Jedi theme, whichever one it was, and then the Rebellion theme as well. Those things I always remember, but the new theme, I can't even remember what it was. So it was like, okay. I'm trying to think which other points, because it was kind of, I was thinking about these things, and as I was coming home before, and we were discussing them. CG was really good. There were obviously a lot of CG characters in the movie, which was okay. But it was great to see a lot of the non-CG stuff as well. Obviously the robots and that BB-8. I thought the BB-8 character was really cool. I really liked that guy. It was kind of fun and cute, and as he was kind of following around, but he wasn't goofy in any way. It wasn't like he was a ridiculous character. It was a cool little character to have in there. The Ben's use of the Force, the dark side, being able to like stop the blaster and drag people around by his neck, and I thought that was really cool. I would have liked him to have shown that off a little bit more, though, like the power of the dark side. And the other thing that kind of like that took me out of it a little bit as well was when we saw the Emperor, no, not the Emperor, the big bad guy who appeared as a hologram on that big throne. Because he was CG, and because he was this weird alien character, it totally took me out of it completely. At that point, I wasn't like thinking, "Oh, this is a really terrifying, creepy character," and he's really sadistic or whatever. It was just like, just whenever I saw it, it was like, oh man, it really took me out of it. So that was the only other thing as well. But overall, I mean, aside from all those negative things, the reason that I'm saying all of those is because I think everyone has kind of been hyped up so much, and those are the things that kind of took me out of it. But overall, I mean, I thought it was a fun movie. It was an okay movie to go and see, and I recommend it definitely. It was good action, and anyone who's maybe not seen the originals or any of the episode 1, 2, and 3, I recommend it as well, because it stands pretty well on its own as a movie as well, and it's definitely entertaining for a couple of hours. Good script, some good humor in it as well. That was pretty cool. The acting, like I said, was good as well. I enjoyed the acting in it, and overall, yeah, I give it a thumbs up. But I still think that Star Trek is better anyway, since it's a J.J. Abrams thing as well. He did like a much better job on that, in my opinion, than this one. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts, guys. Great to know what you think as well. Please let me know in the comments, of course. It'd be interesting to get some thoughts on it since it's just come out. And yeah, more game development videos coming soon. So I just wanted to do this personal one and post a few guys. So anyway, happy developing. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I'll speak to you really soon. See you later. Bye.